Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Ever17, the Out of Infinity. I was just sitting here trying to think of what happened last time. This always happens. I believe that you and the kid were discussing more on the supernatural type stuff. And after that, I kind of have a blank. I mean, they got the generator back up, and that's what it was. Yeah, they got the generator back on up, and Sora, boop, seemed to pop out of nowhere. How fascinating. I wonder if there's something to do with her and the generator coming back on. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what was happening. There's some pressure going on in the kid the last time I remember. Oh yeah, the missing chicken sandwich, that's right. Who stole his chicken sandwich? I have to find out. If they ever find out. Somehow I felt there was something odd going on.
よし、じゃあこれは空の分だ。
Looking, I saw Taxi holding the sandwich out toward Sora.
朝食べてないだろ？
あ、いえ、私はいいんです。
遠慮するなよ。これ俺が作ったんだけど、味には自信があるんだ。
ええ、でも。
おいおい、嘘じゃないぞ。
そうそう、美味しいのは拙者も保証するでござるよ。
Yes, they better be because that's what you're gonna be eating for quite a while. I was thinking with the tuna there, are they gonna prepare that? Because that'd be hilarious. That would have to be a scene. Them trying to prepare the tuna to eat. Oh, and by the way, I'm trying to use the keyboard this time. I have no clue where the manual is to this thing, so it's probably where all my other game manuals are. Somewhere. So I never thought to actually look up the I thought to, but I never did. I didn't really think hard on it until I was actually thinking, hey, while I'm playing this, what buttons do I hit? Okay, I quit playing. I'm not gonna look it up now. Or I'm thinking of whatever I'm going to do next by then, but yeah. So I won't be doing the right clicky anymore. Me too. Sarah and I both raised our hands in a show of agreement. Sarah and I both raised our hands in a show of agreement?
そら、俺の飯が食えないのか？
そんなことおっしゃられても。
じゃあなんだ？昨日食いすぎたか？それともダイエットか？
いいえ、でも。
ダメダメ、きちんと食わなきゃ体に毒なんだ。ほら、受け取れ。
Don't do it. Ah. He tossed the cola and chicken sandwich toward Sora. They traced a gentle arc through the air. Sora suddenly reached out her hands. She reached them out, but Sora didn't catch them. No, she couldn't catch them. She didn't avoid them. It wasn't that she was too slow. Sora was there with her hands extended into space. The sandwich had fallen at her feet. The cola had violently slammed into the wall behind her and exploded. The spewing cola didn't get Sora wet. The droplets looked like they flew through Sora's body. The sandwich wrapper covered the silhouette of Sora's sandal. It was as if the two had melded together. This is quite the same text. Taxi wasn't the only one surprised. I also was confused and without a clue. It couldn't have been that it seemed odd because I didn't know from the start. Wait, what? It couldn't have been that it seemed odd because I didn't know from the start. Or maybe it seemed strange because I'd forgotten it. Yes, I forgot that you could meld with sandwiches. So all I could do was sit there with my mouth agape, my eyes staring at the spectacle.
ですから、私はいらないと申し上げたのですが。
Sora made an embarrassed looking expression.
いや、あれだ、俺は。
Takushi looked completely puzzled.
ちゃんと渡すつもりで投げたんだけど、おかしいな。手が滑っちゃったのかな。
I don't think it slipped. I think there's
すい
something
ま
else.
せん。でもちっともおかしくはないんですよ、倉成さん。
でも、ほら吹いてる、かかってる。服は大丈夫か？
はい。
っていうか、3度踏んでる足の先が長いですよ。
Yeah, I remember that line. I love that line.
ごめんなさい。
And just like that, Sora's vanished toes reappeared. The place where the sandwich was supposed to be wavered unsteadily. I didn't have any idea what it all meant.
もしかして倉成さんご存知なかったんですか？
Sora was shuffling embarrassedly. Of course he didn't know. You've been kind of skating all around it, you know. Although no, she didn't mention. Did she mention it? No, she didn't mention it in the. Did she mention it when he was this time around when he didn't listen to her joke? No. I'm gonna have to go back and review that.
そら、お前は一体。
For some reason, you gave a huge sigh right next to Takushi, and then the laughter starts. She burst out laughing.
倉成、面白いから黙って見てたけど、あんた本当に何も聞いてなかったのね。
何をだよ。
Takushi was still confused.
ゲートに入場する時の説明。
だから、それはなんだよ。
Looking around, only Takushi now were surprised. A strange expression floated onto Sarah's face, but it seemed like she knew what was going on. Skimmy's face was blank. Apart from Takushi, it seemed like nobody felt like this was anything to be surprised about.
まったく。
Skimmy stood up as if irritated. Don't understand that. Why didn't they just say Sugimi stood up? Irritated.
もう見ていられないわね。くだらない。
I do love how they word this. I mean, I know it's the way they write, but it's... If you stand up as if you're irritated, it normally means you're irritated. You don't ever, eat it. Actually, I guess you could, though. You could eat a sandwich, and you rubbed your tummy as if you enjoyed it. Because I guess technically you could be eating somebody else's food, and you could be like, I feel like I'm going to throw up, but I want to be nice. But she wouldn't hide it. I mean, that would be opposite. After spitting out those words, she left the conference room. Maybe we were used to it, but we just watched her go. No one tried to stop her.
まあ、つぐみのことは放っておくとして。そら、悪いんだけど、もう一回自己紹介してあげて。
はい、わかりました。
The punctured can had stopped fizzing. Sora took a step forward toward us, carefully as if avoiding the sandwich, and straightened up. After a slight bow, she spoke.
私は茜ヶ崎空。正式名称は LMRSDS4913A と申します。このレミューの案内係を仰せつかっている人工知能、いわゆる AI プログラムです。私はレミシステム内の機能の一部として組み込まれていますので、手近な端末で呼び出してくだされば、レミューの館内どこにでもすぐに参ります。また、全館に及ぶ本格的な RSD を採用することで、私の姿形は実現されています。おそらく世界でも珍しいのではないでしょうか。
In 2017, I'd expect there to be few places like that, if any.
やっぱり RSD だったんだ。でもここまですごいのは見たことないよ。レミューの自慢の出し物の一つだからね。だから空は停電の間いなくなっちゃってたんだ。
ええ、どうもご心配をおかけしましたね。
I had finally lost any sense of what was going on. Takshi looked flustered as well. The conversation had taken off and left me and Takshi behind. What's, RSD?
簡単に言うと、半導体レーザーを直接網膜照射する画像表示システム。
I see. I nodded. I had no clue what she was talking about, but I just nodded away. Yes, I totally get what you're saying. Totally get it. But I thought it might have just been because I had no memory. It also seemed that any more questions would stall the conversation, and probably just create more questions. So I decided to take an I don't get it, but it's okay approach. I don't get it. That's okay.
それにしてもずいぶん高度な人格を持たされてるんだね。
The surprising thing was Sarah seemed to be following the conversation the best.
仮想空間を生み出す技術にレミューは相当なこだわりを持っていますから、私の存在もその一環です。
大きなシステムが必要なんじゃない？
そうですね。それでも数十年前に比べればかなり小型になったのではないでしょうか。
どのくらい？それってどこにあるの？見てみたいな。
すいません。私の口からは言えません。秘密なんです。
詳細なデータを持たされてないの？
ええ、そうです。
じゃあちょっと質問を変えるけど、空自身の意思は記憶によって変容したり。
Oh, I didn't hit anything. The conversation was getting more and more technical. Sarah kept badgering Sora with technical questions. Things about samplings and algorithms and structure this and encode that. Jargon was flying around. And meanwhile, you and Takshi are just getting slammed in the face with it. My head started to hurt from all the jargon hitting them in the face. Hey, you. I approached you and tugged on her sleeve. This conversation is crazy complex. What is with Sarah anyway? It's crazy complex, man. Crazy complex. He does talk kind of like a kid, talk kind of like a teenager sometimes. Dude, this is crazy complex, man. Computer ninja? Stop with the stupid jokes. You puffed out her cheeks as if pouting. It didn't seem she was in the mood for a comeback.
マヨはね、ハッカーなのよ。
Hacker meaning... I think it'd probably still be pretty funny to hear. Be like, you don't know what a hacker is? If this is Takshi asking this question, she'd really let him have it. Let's ask, what's a hacker? I don't know what this hacking thing is. You're talking about like a hacking cough. Is that what she like smokes a lot of cigarettes and she that it slows down her ninjaing? Hacker?
なんて言ったらいいんだろう。コンピューターを扱うエキスパートとでも言うのかな。
Yeah, that describes them quite well, sorta.
とにかくパソコンにすっごく詳しいの。おまけにプログラミングの腕もプロ顔負けっていうレベルでね。趣味でプログラムを組むことはもちろん、この間なんかクラッキングコンテストで優勝しちゃったくらいだし。
A cracking contest?
暗号破りのコンテストのこと。言っておくけど犯罪じゃないよ。暗号技術の会社が開催する 技術の安全性の確認を目的に行われる合法的なクラッキングで、そこでハッカーたちに自社のアルゴリズムをわざと攻撃させるの。
I was getting more and more lost.
まあ要するに暗号解読ゲームの大会だと考えて差し支えないと思う。
Sure, decryption game contest. That's... Oh, so it's a game! Yay, what a fun game.
ゲームだと言ってバカにしない方がいいよ。なんたって世界中の腕に覚えのある技術者が参加してたんだから。そこで優勝するってことは世界でも屈指のハッカーということになるの。世界一って言っても過言じゃないかもしれない。
The best? That totally sounds like an anime thing. Want to become the best hacker in all the world. I'll hack into other people's computers and it'll make them delete everything, and I'll be the best hacker of all time. Kind of sounds like that does sound kind of like an anime thing. They probably have an anime of that. There's even this one weird one where this guy wants to become like the best cook. He goes and fights these giant monsters. It's mildly amusing. I can see where people could enjoy it, but it wasn't quite my thing. It's just way too incredible.
そうね。コンピューターにかけては彼女きっと天才よ。
I see. It seemed that you truly couldn't tell who a person was by appearances. Apart from being a little mischievous, she just seemed like a normal girl. But Sarah just kept talking with Sora about things that I couldn't comprehend. There was a gap between who she appeared to be and who she actually was. I kept staring at Sora from the side, in a state of semi-awe. In the end, I only talked she was completely surprised that Sora was a new kid. Don't forget you. You was an employee of LeMU, so of course she knew. Before leaving the room, Sugumi hadn't seemed that surprised. Sarah as was clear by her questions, had a solid grip on the situation. And the whole crazy situation we were in was so crazy, I didn't know what to be surprised about. Several hours passed. It's getting on into the second day there, isn't it? It seemed like the first day lasted forever. It seemed the sun was getting ready to set. But deep in the ocean, our sense of time was disappearing. Checking my watch was the only way that I knew it was evening. Nothing changed in LeMU. No one had come to pay us a visit. That's pretty obvious. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Y'all doing alright today? Good. Hey, did y'all get y'all's paper today? We couldn't find ours. Oh, yeah, cool. Well, later, man. That's kind of it's completely not how somebody pays somebody a visit, but oh well. But things hadn't gotten worse. Right now, there was no sign of flooding or impending collapse. We had just been passing the time as we saw fit. For now, we had all forgotten about not being able to escape. I was in the rest area. I sat on the bench and looked at the blooming flowers without really seeing them. There's no one else around. We were going to meet again at 7. Until then, we had free time. I was thinking about Sora. The revealing of what she really was. Sora's real identity. AI, artificial intelligence, a program, a virtual image. Sora didn't really exist. In other words, Sora wasn't a person. But Sora clearly had a will of her own. She could think and act for herself. I knew that much. But with my limited knowledge, everything other than that was beyond me. There were lots of things that I couldn't know. I looked down. The floor was covered with a layer of water. The lights in the ceiling were reflected in the water. It was like the cold light of the moon. I poked my finger into the water. Plop! The water rippled and the surface shook. The light in the water fragmented into disarray, finally returning to its original shapes. I reached into the water trying to grab the light, but I could only grab a little seawater. I couldn't touch the light. I tried again and again, but I couldn't get my hand on the moon. And time passes as he tries to
どこ
grab
か
the
らお
moon.
話ししたらよろしいでしょうか。
I wish you would start with the basic stuff. The basicest of stuff you can start with. Sora was sitting next to me. This is seeming very, very familiar to Takshi's route. Do all the characters? Well, they're the only two that was in the dark, though. So, if none of the other characters know, they all have this moment where Sora was like, "Alright, I guess I can fit you in between Takshi and you. Alright, so here's a lowdown. I'm an AI hologram, blah blah blah." At least that is how it appeared to me. But she's also going to talk about lasers in the eyeballs and all that sort of thing. I had decided to seek out an explanation directly from Sora. What exactly was Sora? It might have been rude asking her outright like this, but I thought that it would be ruder to continue along without really knowing.
わかりました。RSD についてでしたね。
Yeah. It might be something that you really don't want to talk about.
それはどうしてですか？
Well, you're not a person. You're Sora. Is that an insult or a compliment? I'm not sure. So asking about systems and stuff, it might be kind of personal. I kind of could see that. Certain systems could be. If you put it in a kind of a counter physical. I'm throwing words out here. I don't know what they mean. Put in a kind of a counter physical way could be related to other things you can relate to, like a human being. And that might be stuff you don't want to show to the everyday layman or whatever. Layman? What? I don't really know how to say it. Okay, well he kind of just summed it up a little bit better than me, so good for him. I just thought it might be kind of like someone was peeking inside you and kind of unpleasant. A broken explanation brought a soft smile to Sora's face.
そんなことは気になさらなくていいんですよ。少年さんはさっきおっしゃいましたよね。私が何者であっても私は私なんです。たとえ私の根源に関わるようなことをお話しするとしても、それは私自身を知ってもらうことに他ならないのです。
I squeezed my hand shut. Of course I wasn't holding anything.
それから実は先ほど倉成さんにもご説明したばかりなんです。
Okay, cool. That fits into the same storyline, same timeline. Like how she's saying, yeah, I got practice. I got practice explaining this crap, so you're gonna get a better story than him. As long as you don't come up with any extra questions. Huh? Takashi?
はい。
Sora gently put her hand on her chest.
私は皆さんと同じではありませんが、皆さんと同じでありたいと思っています。だからこそ私は皆さんに私を知ってもらいたいのです。
That's why it took over a day for people to find out, I see. Saying that, Sora looked at me and slightly dropped her eyes. I felt like pieces of the puzzle scattered on the floor of my mind were about to fall into place. As if enticed by her grin, I became quiet.
では RSD についてご説明を始めますね。
Sure, that sounds like a good explanation, or a good place to start with. Which sounds, segue, and like a good place to begin the next episode as well. Wow, nah, that was lame. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. If you folks did enjoy this, I don't know, I feel like I might have been a little bit more rambly with this one. I have those. I have those. I have the rambling ones. So hopefully you folks can live with it, because I have to every day. But anyway, I hope you folks did enjoy, and I shall return for the next one. Farewell.